Yeah. On last session, we have tried uh, standalone components, right? We have tried standalone components. And now we will talk about project architecture today. Do you see my screen? Do you see my screen? Okay. So let me commit this standalone component. Few more features are there, but we will see time to time. So here, say that again. Just a minute. I'm not getting your voice actually. Say that again.
Yeah. So on weekend I have just practicing. So that time I have created the new project and everything.
Uh-huh.
And while using NGA also I need to import it. That new thing I got to know.
NG, which command? Can you type it in chat
NG.
box?
Yeah, sure. So okay, why don't I see chat box? Yeah, got it. So if we need to add NG if NG4 also na,
Uh-huh.
that also we need to import. I got to know.
Yeah. We will see that. Directives
Yeah.
are little bit different in Angular 17.
Yeah.
So whenever we reach to that point, we will talk about that as well. Okay?
Yes, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So so if you see here, so how do you develop this login screen? So we might do the multiple iterations. First, we might create in some different way, and we might feel that no, we don't need to do this using ng module. We can create this independent component. So we can convert that component again to the standalone component, right?
Right.
But whenever you look at this, let me open this Notion. And here we can say required components or architecture. So here, first we need to have this navigation bar, right? Menu,
Okay.
this navigation menu. Then this page. So for this, what you would be doing, can you please tell me? So this would be the separate component and this would be the separate component. How exactly this would be?
Yeah, there will be header component
Uh-huh.
where for the navigation bar and the login is the different component.
Correct. So we need this component separately.
Right.
So we can say nav component. This would be standalone
Right.
and a login. This would be also standalone. So these two components we can create and we need to use SCSS, right?
Yes, right.
Yeah. So what we will do, are you getting background noise from my end?
Yeah, but no problem.
Okay. BCM Angular, we have a folder,
Yeah.
NVM or node version, I'm sorry, node version. node hyphen v. This is 16.13.2. So nvm use 18, right?
Yeah.
And then let me go to the bcm angular bcm angular and ng new, and name of the app would be bcm. Or we can directly create into this folder also. In a current directory, I think you need to give a dot
Okay.
ng new and ng new bcm billing counter management hyphen directory is equals to dot dot dot. Now see what happens. I need to have SCSS, right?
Yes.
Do you want to enable server-side rendering? No.
Why don't they ask me on these questions?
Because you might not be using Angular 17. Just try it. First, node version you need to install. What do you use, Mac or Windows?
Windows.
Okay, then it's clear. No problem.
Yeah. Node is 18 and I need to check Angular version also.
Correct. Angular version.
For Angular, we need to check npm. Yeah? npm.
For Angular,
Huh?
ng-v, ng version.
ng.
Not hyphen, just ng version.
Okay. So 17, it is 17, node is 18.
Okay, then try ng new.
Yeah. Same project.
Same project, yeah.
Okay. ng new and the project name.
Project name, any name.
Okay. And directory also.
Hyphen directory and dot. Dot means what? Current directory. If you see, it will not create a new folder, right?
Yeah, it will. Yeah. So
It will do it in a given folder. Dot represents current directory.
Okay. Oh, this command is not available.
ng
bcm project hyphen directory. Yeah, I'm doing same only.
and dot at the end.
Yeah, dot also.
Make sure ng is installed on your machine.
Yeah, they are showing version, ng version, so it is installed.
Yeah, it is installed then.
Should I remove directory and just try ng
Try it.
new?
Yeah. Or can you share your screen?
Yeah, sure. Okay, is it visible?
Yeah, visible.
Okay. So they are saying this.
ng new and ng version 17. What is my version here? Let me check my version. ng.
Yeah.
Mine also 17.1.0. But why you are getting?
Okay.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah.
Oh, you are typing in a git cmd.
Okay.
Can you try in just command prompt?
Oh, from command prompt.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Desktop. Just a minute. Should I create here only? No? Yeah.
Ah,
Let me see.
we have seen the process, right? How do you update exactly?
Uh,
Git related things we have seen, correct?
yeah, yeah, yes. So, ng new basic directory dot, right?
Yeah.
Ah, here they are asking. Okay.
So use
This is
git terminal only for git related operations.
okay. Okay. So this is yes, right? Server side rendering?
No, this is no.
No. Okay. Okay. So in Git, they are directly creating the project with CSS.
So in the git, that you should use only for git.
Okay. Okay. I'll stop sharing.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
RFMS, which one? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So we need a navbar component. That would be the standalone one. And and we
Login.
need login component. That also would be the standalone one.
Right.
Correct?
Yeah.
Now let us see SCSS is working or not. Yeah, that is working. SCSS.
Okay.
Now in the app we have SCSS and the style also we have SCSS. They have used variables.
Right.
Correct. So we need to work with the bootstrap as well, right?
Yeah.
So let's install bootstrap in
Oh, Angular.
Yeah, Angular material. So let's make a setup of Angular material.
Yeah.
So this would be the website. So here we can say day. How much day is today? What's the day today? 4th, 5th. We started on 18th, right? Hello?
Day 4. I
Day
was talking on mute.
4 or 5?
4. Today is a 4.
Okay. So today, project structure. Project structure. Adding material. So this will keep a track what we are doing on each day, right?
Right. Right.
Adding Angular material. Okay, now how do you add Angular material? Getting started and install Angular material would be like this: ng add Angular material.
Okay.
Right? Let us see. Let's do that.
Oh,
BCM Angular. Let's make sure this is the folder.
okay.
Yeah, this is the folder where Angular project is there. We can say ng add Angular material. And see, Angular material 17 will be installed and executed. Would like to proceed? Yes, you can say. It will take little time.
Mhm.
Now it will ask you the themes. If
Yeah.
you want to preview this, it would be this theme. Themes. I think we can click on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Darshan and Fabrice are mostly checks for the DB agent issues or anything happen, right?
Yeah, if you see here,
And Vijay is here, Darshan.
can you see different color is here? Theme.
Yeah.
Screen.
Right.
If you see here,
Darshan, any activity?
there is a different color. See, here are the themes.
The data was
Deep
there for
purple,
last now from
Okay.
indigo and pink,
1.5 hours, right?
purple, green. Which color you need?
So do you have access to check this? Because I can
Okay.
see
This one, this one,
Yeah, blue also fine. Purple also fine.
DB agent.
this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Then select this purple, green.
Okay.
Is it supporting now?
Set up the Angular material typography. We can say yes. I mean font.
And again.
Include animations. Presently we don't need animations. Include in and enable, or let's add it animations. It will add all those things. Now if you go to your project, just close all these things. If you go to your project, just open style.css, and here you will find HTML body, something like this, and
Even though I'm not able to see that.
this style has been added. And if you go to the package.json, in the package.json, can you see Angular animations, CDK, and
Okay.
material is over here. Material have been added, animations have been added, right?
Yeah.
Now let's go to the one more file.
Other running,
Here,
you are running.
material icons, this link have been added,
Okay. Mhm.
and I think this also have been added for material itself.
Okay.
Then you can go to the HTML. Well, here this was the earlier code. Just a minute, let us see. Let's close these things.
Yeah.
Just a minute. Now this is our main component. Let's Let's close everything. Let's delete this part. Keep simple router outlet. Now let's click here. We have added this. Let's import this guy first in app module. Now see, there is a, we don't have any module over here, correct? Hello?
Yeah.
Now what they have done, you need to import this matte sliding toggle module to this. But there is no app module over here, right? So let's try importing over here. Let's import this guy, matte sliding module over here. Okay, and then just copy this matte toggle like this. You getting that?
Yeah.
What do you think? Will it work?
Ideally, it should.
Okay. Now we need to go to the Angular standalone components as well.
Okay.
Let us run the code and see what happens.
Yeah.
Let's close all these things. Can you see here? The toggle have appeared. And this is in your, there are no errors in here also.
Okay.
And this toggle is working as expected. Now, what we have written over here, that is nothing but what? Import section. So let's visit the standalone components. And there is a one line they have written in the standalone components about this. Lazy loading, providing services using existing modules in ng modules in a standalone components. If you see imports, can you see matte button module? An existing module is imported directly into the standalone component. Can you see this?
Okay. Yeah.
Using existing modules, existing ng modules in standalone components. When writing a standalone components, you may want to use other components directly or the pipes in a components template. Some of those dependencies might not be marked as a standalone, but instead marked and exported by an existing ng module. If you remember the concept of ng module, we need to export the things. If another module wants to use particular class or directive in other ng module has to export it, right? And whatever you have exported from that ng module is valid candidate for importing in a standalone component. It is a standalone component kind of thing, sorry, it is a ng module kind of thing, but in a 17 we call it as standalone component, right? There is one more definition. Components, directives and pipes can now marked as a standalone. Angular classes marked as a standalone do not need to be declared in the ng module. The Angular compiler will report error if you try to. Standalone components specify their dependencies directly instead of getting them through the ng modules. That's what we have done it. So this app component is dependent on mat slide toggle module. Correct?
Yeah.
Mat style toggle like that.
Okay.
That's what the first change with respect to ng module. Correct?
Yes.
Any question?
No, so for every component
Standalone
of Mac,
component.
yeah, we need to add an import.
Correct.
So if we are using 10, 12, that all are need to add an import.
Import. Correct.
Okay. 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 So every component's import. So or app, if I'm writing in app.component.ts, it will be, we can use it in throughout the project like that, right?
Now that is another concept. Same concept. If you have if app component is having a child, then this import is applicable or not. Let's try it. Right?
Okay.
That
Yeah.
is that is also interview question.
Right. Right.
This is the interview question.
Okay.
Now nggc. Okay. And here we can say login. Nggc login. Then hit the enter. It will create the login. Now what I need to do, let's remove this from here,
Okay.
or let's import it over here.
Not HTML.
And this line we will import it here. Correct?
Okay. Yeah, correct.
And in app component HTML we will add app login.
Right.
This is what your question is, right?
Correct. Correct.
App login. Sorry, not like this. It's not really
App hyphen.
app hyphen login. Now you have imported this into the
App component.
parent. You have
Right.
imported this into the parent. npm start. See now, app login is an Angular component. Then verify it is included into the add components import. Okay. Is a web component. Okay, I got it. So you go here. You go to the here and login component. Now
Okay.
okay.
In routes also we need to define.
No. We are not using route right now.
Okay.
Okay. See, mat slide toggle is an Angular component. Verify it is included into this. If you see here, you have imported this into this and you have used it into the login. And you are getting an error. Mat slide toggle is an Angular component. Then verify that it is included in add component imports of this component. Which component?
In
Login
login, we need to
Yeah,
import it. Okay.
correct. So if I go from here and if I add it here, then we need to import this module over here.
Right.
Local, this one, 4200.
Still error.
Not an error, I think.
We have removed from app component. Yeah.
So this part needs to be removed from here.
Yeah, right.
Now see, you are in a login now. Login works, and inside login, it is showing.
Yeah. So this
And
is a drawback, I guess. If we are using
no,
module file.
no, just a minute. It's not like that.
Okay.
It's not like that. Same case is happening in Angular, normal Angular also, in the ng module case as well.
Okay.
Whatever module,
Mhm.
if one module is having 10 components, right? First, that
Right.
module should have a reference of another module. You getting my point? So here, consider that there is an ng module. And if ng
Okay.
module is unaware about this mat slide toggle module,
Uh-huh.
ng module is unaware about this mat slide toggle module, how it will import these components,
Okay.
right? So
Yeah.
if you don't declare this mat, if you remember in an app module, the way they have done it, can you see under the import section of the app module, you
Yeah.
have
They are
imported
imported.
mat slide toggle module, which means that
Right.
this thing is important. This is the
Right.
module. This is what? The
Module.
module. And this module has to be imported at somewhere, at the root of your hierarchy.
Okay.
So this is, in this case, app module is the root. But if you have a login module, as a feature module, into that feature module also you need to import this thing, because this thing is exporting all required components. Correct?
Correct.
This is clear or not?
Yeah.
You can try it.
But I was just asking the disadvantage, like if app model is having 10 components and we are writing an app module,
Uh-huh.
it is, we don't need to write in every component and import it.
Component you don't need to write, correct, but module
Yeah.
has to be there.
Yeah, model has to be there. But for Angular 17, every component we need to import it. So,
Like this. If you
yeah,
want to use,
right.
because it's a standalone, it has nothing to do with the ng module.
Right, that's right. Okay, got it.
Just try it.
Yeah, sure.
I'll be back in a minute.
Okay. Um, I guess
Yeah.
it's CMD or my project is not created with standalone thing. I need to recreate it.
Yeah. So make sure that you are using command prompt
Yeah.
and not there is a one.
Git bash.
No, no. In the Windows there is a one more thing actually.
Uh-huh.
Command prompt, and what's that?
PowerShell.
PowerShell. Don't use PowerShell.
Uh,
Use command prompt.
yeah, I
Tomorrow.
Done?
no, I'm not getting in my folder. I can see billing counter project, but in my Visual Studio it's not opening. Yeah, opening something. Still somewhere. Okay, I have one project. I'll add that Angular material in that and check. Just give me 2 minutes more, please.
Okay.
Hello? Yeah.
Done. Yes.
I'm just adding it at the project.
No problem.
Okay, I'll check this.
You're adding button, right?
Yeah. Okay, this is bad. Should I try what toggle it?
Yes. Anything. Any.
I'm trying button, but it should be like this, right? And taking the menu bar.
Don't take menu bar or other thing. Simple button or something like that.
Yeah, simple button. So, but they are not taking the property.
Mm-hmm.
So, these are calling. But at least it is installed now. So I will practice and try this with the new project.
So what's happening? And what is that button? Which button?
Yeah, yes.
Primary. No.
Yeah.
And where that? Yeah, it is there.
Yeah.
Which means that material has been installed on your machine, in your project.
This part.
Correct.
And then added import.
Okay. So how come you are getting angular material?
Sorry.
Just a minute. Getting started, right?
Yeah.
In the documentation somewhere, imports, okay? But you have got the documentation with, you clicked on button, right? This one. And you clicked this one. Here? Oh, okay. And can you see here they have given example with the standalone component. Can you see that? But in the earlier cases, getting started in the beginning, it is not with the standalone component. And can you see they have imported all the things over here, all the modules over here. Got it, right? And that is working on your machine. Okay, good. So we have a login. Under the login, we have separate this thing. Now, in the beginning, if you remember, there was a style. This is an interview type question. Here is the style. What is the difference between this approach and writing it into the CSS or SCSS, whatever? Can you tell me? So here you have directly written the style, and then you have this CSS also. What is the difference?
So on HTML page that is an inline style, and SCSS we are importing it.
Uh-huh.
If there are conflicting styles,
Mm-hmm.
then it will be first the inline one, and if it is not there, then it will not SCSS.
Say that again. I didn't get your voice clearly. Uh-huh.
Better background is there in the HTML file and not CSS file.
Mm-hmm.
We will take the color background from the HTML file because inline are the more having more parity. And then I guess, and then it will take, if it is not there in the inline one, then it will take dot CSS or SCSS.
Okay. But when you use this style approach,
So we can write in SCSS with inline one.
so these styles are called as inline styles, writing over here. Okay.
Yeah.
Scoping is the concern over here. So when you say scoping, these styles are scoped to that specific component only, right? Meaning that they only affect this app component HTML. You cannot use it in elsewhere,
Okay.
right? This approach is useful for applying styles that are tightly coupled and encapsulating styles to prevent the conflicts with styles in other components. So if there are conflicting styles in login component as well as in a login component as well as in an app component, if there is a conflicting style, you need to use this approach,
Okay.
right? Purpose of the, yeah, go ahead.
SCSS app component like SCSS also for the app component only.
We can apply that style to any component, no problem.
Okay.
Okay.
It is like if we are writing an app component like SCSS,
Uh-huh.
it will be applied to child components.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you. Okay, so here I have written H1, and to the H1 I have said background color, you can say cadet blue, this one. Okay, and if I go here in H1, here I can say hey, hi. Now if you go here, can you see? No, this is something else. Matte toggle, why it is showing? Oh, this we have,
Okay.
and here app
Okay.
login. And can you see here?
Yeah.
Hey hi is not getting applied inside H1 of this. So hey hi, here we can say login. And one more hey hi we will write here, hey hi app component. Can you see? But hey hi app component is getting that background color. If you see this, So you have written this CSS into the app component as CSS,
Yeah.
right? H1 you have written, correct?
Yes.
And inside this also there is a H1, hey hi login. To this H1 it is getting a background, but for the child component it is not getting the background. What is the reason? This is the interview type question.
Then.
We have studied this, if you remember, in the basic of Angular. Can I tell you?
Yeah.
The concept is called as view encapsulation.
Okay.
The concept of this is called as view encapsulation.
Okay.
Now there is, let me write it straight away. View encapsulation. Encapsulation. There are different strata. Okay, first tell me, let me show you what is happening in the code. If you go here and not this inspector, body, app root, and can you see ng content and something is getting added over here?
Right.
Can you see this?
Yeah.
And if you go inside this h1, this is your h1, and can you see this ng content and this number, and to the h1 this ng underscore content is different. And Angular, can you see this background color is only to this number. Angular prevents, what you can say, passing of the styles internally. This concept is called as view encapsulation. So there is the concept somewhere. Now documentation have been changed, otherwise it was there in the beginning itself. Components, where is a view encapsulation? Okay, let's Google it. Angular view encapsulation. See here, view encapsulation dot shadow DOM, emulated and none. By default, it is emulated. Angular modifies component CSS selector. See, Angular modifies component CSS selectors so that they are only applied to the components view and do not affect to other things over here. If I make none over here, encapsulation, view encapsulation dot none, by default one is emulated, remember that. If I make none and you go over here, can you see both the things are getting colored? Why? Now if you check over here, that random number is not there. See now, so this h1 and this h1, so it is reading same, right? So technically your answer to this question should be, does CSS are getting passed to the children or not? Answer should be, it all depends on the view encapsulation strategy. If it is none, Angular does not apply any sort of view encapsulation, meaning that any style specified for the component are actually globally applied. Can you see here? But in the case of emulated, this one, okay, I'm sorry, emulated is not default one, but Angular uses the browser's built-in shadow DOM API to include, this is a separate one. This is separate one, but emulated Angular modifies the component CSS selectors so that they are only applied to the component view. So default one, in earlier cases it was emulated. I think this in 17 also this is the emulated. Angular modifies the component. I think this is Angular uses browser's built-in Shadow DOM API. Okay, default one is this. Okay, emulated.
Okay.
And whenever you say Shadow DOM, it's altogether different concept. If your browser supports Shadow DOM, then it selects Angular uses browser's built-in Shadow DOM API. Now, what is happening? View encapsulation means, remember that this is the actually concept of, this is actually a concept of web components. So here, whenever you say this is the component, it is combination of its own script, its own CSS, right? Whenever you say component, it is the combination of its own script, its own template. Template consists of HTML and CSS both. So whatever HTML and CSS or whatever template related things you have, that should be limited only to this guy. And this is called as one component. Hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
You are getting this, right?
Yeah.
So whenever you say component, that component should have its own template. Template can contain HTML, CSS, and its own script. And that's why every Angular component has its own template and its own script in the form of TypeScript. And that is a capsule. Angular component is a capsule of all these things. So your answer to this query should be like this only. It all depends on what? View encapsulation strategy. Okay?
So can you just explain this three encapsulation? Little bit confused.
Say that again.
About this encapsulation, yeah, three encapsulation, little bit confused.
None means what? If you apply, see now, by default, it's a default one. Angular adds some number to the styles. Can you see this is the style? Can you see to the H1 it has added one number? This is which strategy? This is a emulated strategy. Okay. Now if you make it as none, you will see that to the H1 there is nothing. No number have been added for the particular component. It will work as a natural HTML styles. It will apply globally. That is what is none is. And Shadow DOM and emulated are same, right? If your browser is not having Shadow DOM capability, it will fall to the emulated one. They are same. They are same. If you say Shadow DOM, see here, whatever Shadow DOM says, it will work in that way. But in the emulated one, Angular adds some data. See now, something it has created shadow root in the app, shadow root, and inside that there is a router. Now if you see here, under the shadow root, it has taken this app login also, and that's why app login is also getting all the styles from this. Can you see now style have been added to the H1. This is the H1. So H1 would be applicable inside this all elements of shadow root. So what is there in a shadow root? Styles, app login, These two things are there. So wherever h1 is there, it will apply all those things. Right? View encapsulation. Clear?
So, in the encapsulation, Shabbat segment, it will get applied CSS to all chat
No, not like that. If you look at the definition, shadow DOM concept is depend on the browser to browser. You getting my point? It all depends on browser to browser. You cannot predict the behavior, and that's why you should work with the emulated strategy. Same across all. Is that clear?
Yeah, so if I'm writing dot net,
No strategy. It's like plain HTML and CSS.
okay,
If you write none, plain HTML and CSS.
we are applying globally.
Applying globally. The way HTML and CSS works, there is no strategy to the HTML and CSS. All the components. If you write it in a top level component, that is an app component, it would be getting applied to all children.
And for the emulated one?
Emulated one, it is restricted. This case. This case.
Okay, okay. Okay, yeah, got it. And for that, we just need to do encapsulation dot emulated.
So if you are an experienced Angular person, being an interviewer, I will expect this answer from you. So if I ask you a question, does CSS pass through the elements, through the child components? Your answer shouldn't be in a yes or no. I need this answer. It depends on the view encapsulation strategies. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
So two things we have achieved. Now component we didn't created yet, and the login standalone component we have created. So we need app navigation bar also. So let's create the component. NGGC 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 BCM nav BCM nav. It would be the standalone component. So what I'm saying is that app nav we have got. Now in the dashboard page, after this it is going to take us to the dashboard. So whenever we have dashboard, this name should be changed. So in the beginning there won't be anything, or on this page there won't be any nav bar, but here we would be having a nav bar, and this is the dashboard page. So left hand menu, and all these are child components. These are what? Child components. So can you build this architecture? So I have given components. So BCM navbar. This is login. Let's delete login and let's build BCM login. NGGC BCM login. BCM login. From the app component, let's delete it. Let's delete it.
I will check and ticket I will close it.
Okay, so BCM login we have got, BCM navbar we have got, billing counter management. And now if you look at this, this left hand side would be a drawer. Okay, this left hand side would be a drawer. This is the child component. Do we have any nested child? Customer details? No, we don't have any nested child kind of thing. Okay, so along with, what is your dashboard? When you say dashboard, I will write that code also. NGGC BCM dashboard. BCM dashboard. Okay, so this is the dashboard. Now, what you need, you have homework today. What you need to do, you need to build this architecture. Let me tell you again. If you click on the login, this UI you need to build. When you click on the login, it will take you to the dashboard page. Okay. Dashboard would be having this left hand menu, side nav. Dashboard would be having this main menu, main nav bar, right? And it would be router outlet over here. As a child, you would be having a router outlet. So you need to complete router outlet in the dashboard. So try this. Anyways, I'm going to type code this for this. But I want you to type this code first. You need to give a try. So login, you need to code everything related to login. Then if you click on the login, it should take you to the dashboard. If you apply the validations over here, email should look like email, and password length shouldn't be 0. So here also length validation, right? And the length, and what you can say, valid email validity. And here only length, min and max length. So these two things you need to apply here. Then if you click on the login, you will first check details are entered correct or not, and then it will take you to the dashboard. And then what I will do, again I will type all this code in Angular material in front of you. Okay, so my question is that how do you work with the layouts? For layout, what do you use?
For grid, that kind of thing.
Correct.
Grid or flexbox?
Grid and
This table, but already section is grid or flexbox.
no, I'm asking you, what do you use?
Flexbox.
CSS Flex?
Yeah, CSS flex.
Okay, CSS Flex and CSS Grid.
Yeah. So at least in Angular, I can get the table layout also, right?
Correct. But you can use plain CSS Flex and Grid as well.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any questions on this? And day after tomorrow, if time permits, we can do it tomorrow itself. We will integrate the firebase. For the login, we will integrate the firebase as well. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask me.
So I'll be ready with the coaching with Angular material.
Correct.
Whatever we have discussed, login, dashboard, and the CSS.
Okay. Anyways, I am going to type it this code tomorrow. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks.